All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Ooh, it's Higurashi late night on a Tuesday. Holy shit! Isn't the whole thing if I actually cared about channel monetization, wouldn't the whole thing be that I can't say like shit in like the first 10 seconds or something? Something like that. Yeah. Welcome to the stream. We're starting a bit late here on a Tuesday. I was taking care of some other things. So that's why we're starting late. So late that we're not didn't do a song at the start of the stream. Don't even have time for recap. That's right. You don't get any recaps tonight. Actually, no. You know what? Rika did some things. The group did some things. We learned some trick about mahjong tiles. We saw Tomatake in an alternate costume. That's basically all you need to know about the last stream. No, I guess, we should say, like, okay, there's definitive, proof that Rico has been granted the bodyguards type situation from um, Takano. So there's that. Things just keep coming up Rika's way, basically. Again, I theorized my running theory at this point is I've got a bad feeling. If I had to place a sizable bet, I would say something feels like it's all these things lining up perfectly and working out in Rika's favor here. It's been given to us too easily. To me, I feel like we're gearing up for heartbreak at the end somehow. I think I said last stream that I feel there's going to be like one thing that doesn't work out. I think it's going to manifest in one of two ways. One thing doesn't work out, and then everything comes crumbling down still, and doesn't. Rika still is murdered. Or Rika still gets murdered, and everything still works out, except for the murder thing. And then we're left with like as if we were in a Danganronpa game, we're left with ultimate despair because despite everything working out exactly how we would want it to be, we still cannot get Rika into a timeline where she's not killed. That's my running theory right now. Because I'm trying to think, would they build this out so that it's just like, oh, one thing after the other keeps working surprisingly in our favor against all odds, and then it's just fine, and then we're just good? Is that how we're gonna handle this? I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. Consider me doubtful. So let's read the next section. Okay. I had to take a deep breath. Let's get right to it. I adjust my microphone here, but oh, shit, what's happening? Doink doink. Sure, whatever's happening is thrilling. And action-packed. It was a very humid day. Not even a slight breeze was blowing. It had been an unpleasant summer, one that wasn't only hot, but swelteringly so. There were various articles of clothing hung out to dry in the messy apartment windows, but the lack of wind evoked an impression far removed from coolness. In fact, it only felt more oppressive. Oh, yeah! No, I think one of the biggest last things that ended up happening was I know I said I wasn't going to do recap, but I'm now reiterating for both myself and viewers' sake. Because I'm nothing if not very nice to anyone who decides to click and watch my videos. Was Akatsuka? I keep wanting to say it's Akatsuka, right? I keep wanting to say some name in Naruto. I think I still have I'm still like Naruto pilled from earlier this year. I have like weird Naruto names like floating in my head, and Akatsuka sounds like something from Naruto, but I can't tell if I'm right or. If I go Higurashi, Akatsuka, not Akatsuka. I'm adding a T. I'm adding an unnecessary T. The guy basically from chapter 4, the guy whose perspective we played from through chapter 4, surprisingly made an appearance. Said that apparently, I'm pretty sure what the whole deal about that was that when he came in, not only is he here now to potentially assist, but he said that in this timeline, Rika was able to assist the way Rika, spoke to him and said, hey, go back, kind of thing. Basically, yada, yada, yada. The wife was survived, basically. So, seems like that's a big deal. The big deal that he's there now. He's here. He's in the flesh. Again, dominoes line up quite nice here for Rika and her chances. I can't wait till they all come crashing down, and I will be deemed correct with my upsetting theory. Where did I leave off in the sentence? I think I interrupted myself here. But the lack of wind evoked an impression far removed from coolness. In fact, it only felt more oppressive. We're going to speed read here. There were crooked houses and apartments lining the narrow, twisting road. In addition, there were planters and flower pots whose contents were beginning to rot, as well as bicycles and cars on the sides of the road, making it even more cramped, more oppressive, and all the more sweltering. Nobody who was in this place at this time was visiting it voluntarily. But in spite of what everyone might expect, a single motorcycle came rolling in. I wanted to check something. Okay. The motorcycle stopped in front of a 2-story apartment, one that could hardly be called neat, even as flattery. A man, fairly old and wrinkled, stepped off. When a nearby neighbor hanging out the laundry noticed him, she called out, well, hello there. It's quite hot today again, isn't it? Oh, you've got that right. I feel like I'm gonna boil out here. Suddenly, I got goosebumps all over my body. I felt like something bad was about to happen, for no reason. Everyone gets this feeling in a different way. Some people get a twitch in their eyelids or some kind of movement in their ears. In my case, I get goosebumps. Satoko was supposed to be cooking dinner tonight. We didn't have much inside the refrigerator, so I asked her to go grocery shopping. I was just watching TV and relaxing while I waited for her. She was usually back by the time my cartoon was over, after which she'd start cooking dinner. But my cartoon was over. The news had started, and Satoko wasn't home yet. Satoko sometimes waited until they had a sale at the store. In that case, she'd usually come home late. That must be what was happening. It's too early for me to start worrying about her. But, I can't explain this feeling. I can't explain it, but I feel extremely worried. Once I started feeling like that, I couldn't just sit in the room and wait for her. Hanyu? 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 Where are you? I thought she might know where Satoko might be, but she's never around when I need her. Hanyu is not with me 24 hours a day. She sometimes falls asleep, and sometimes she goes out for walks. Though in her case, it's not a walk, but more like a stalk. She follows people around when she finds someone interesting, and she enjoys observing them. Anyway, I had no choice. I'd have to find Satoko on my own. I had a good idea of which stores Satoko goes to. I should check those first. We're in Hinamizawa. If I ask people, they tell me where she went.
あれ、リカちゃまでねですかい。
Hello there, Rika-chama.
ありがたや、ありがたや。
It's a blessing to see you here.
ニパー。
Nipa,
それより今日、サトコが買い物に来なかったですか？
did Satoko come here today by any chance?
さとこちゃんの顔は見てないね。
I haven't seen Satoko-chan here.
私がずっとお店番してたから、来れば見てるんだけどね。
I've been out here all day, so I would have seen her if she was here. I didn't even have time to say thanks. I ran to the next door. People were greeting me and waving at me. I'd usually smile and greet them back, but I had no time for that at the moment. Satoko, Satoko, Satoko! I need Satoko in my life. Me, if I was the biggest Satoko fan. I need Satoko in my life! I was able to survive for so long because of her support. Without her, this world would be so empty and boring. Satoko is nonchalant and optimistic, unlike me. I've learned so many things from her over the past 100 years, but I still need to learn more from her.
サトコ！サトコ！
Satoko! Satoko! People stared at me as I ran by them, screaming out her name. I didn't care what they thought, though. Satoko, Satoko, Satoko! Why are they looking at me like that? I'm looking for Satoko. Somebody tell me where she is. My heart was convulsing inside my body like a fish out of the water. What little stamina I have. I hate my body for being so young.
角のお惣菜屋さんが夕方に売れ残りを安くするでしょう。
You know, the store on the corner always has a sale in the evening.
そこに行ってるかもね。
She might be there. I went to a few different places, but I still couldn't find her anywhere. The people I talked to gave me advice on where to go, but I couldn't find her in any of the places they suggested. I continued to run, looking for her. I continued to run even when I bumped into people.
さあ、どうだろう。夕方は人がたくさん来るから覚えちゃいないかもしらん。
I don't know. I had so many customers, I can't remember. There are only a few places in Namazawa where we can go grocery shopping. It shouldn't be that difficult to find her, so why couldn't I? Whoa! I tripped on something in the street and fell flat on the ground. Ouch! I injured my hand on a small rock embedded in the ground. I didn't feel much pain, even though I said ouch. It just felt hot, as if I had touched a frying pan. Suddenly, someone handed me a pretty handkerchief.
大丈夫？
Are you okay?
怪我とかしなかったかな？
Did you get hurt?
レナ、
Rina?
サトコを見なかったですか？
Did you see Satoko anywhere? Rina was carrying a grocery bag. I've heard that Satoko bumps into Rina often when she goes grocery shopping. They tend to choose the same stores.
サトコちゃんは？
Satoko-chan?
今日は見てないよ。
No, I didn't see her today.
サトコちゃんがお買い物の日だったの？
Was she out grocery shopping?
そうです。
Yes.
会っていませんですか？
You didn't see her? No,
わからないな。
I didn't.
今日がサトコちゃんのお買い物の日なら、絶対にスーパーひなみざわの特売日を逃さないと思うもん。
But there's no way she would have missed the big sale at the market today.
でも、レナもスーパーにいたけど、会わなかったし。
I was there, but I didn't see her. My brain wasn't getting enough oxygen. It took me a while to understand what Rina was talking about. I understood that Rina didn't see Satoko, but that wasn't the point. They had a huge sale in the market today. Question mark? There's no way that Satoko would miss that sale. But she still didn't see her there? What was that supposed to mean?
何かあったの？
What happened?
サトコちゃん、 お財布とか家の鍵でも忘れちゃったかな。
Did she leave her wallet at home or something?
う
Well, couldn't find the right words to explain. Should I tell her that I feared that something bad had happened to Satoko, and that's why I was looking for her? No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't think too deeply about why she hadn't returned home.
どうしたの？
What's wrong?
困ってるなら力になるよ。
Can't I help out? Rika, what are you talking about? What's the one thing we learned about, Rika? You have to go to your friends if you have problems. You can't just keep them to yourself. Come on, Rika. Get with the program.
話して。
Talk to me. I knew she was just trying to help me. I even thought I needed someone to help me just a few moments before. But now that she was here, I had no idea what I was supposed to say. No, that's not it. The truth is, I know. Somehow, I know. I wouldn't have to know if I was someone else. But I have to know this. Rika Furude has to know what's going on. I know it. I remember it. I knew this was coming. I've experienced a world before where Satoko suddenly disappeared. But the possibility for that happening is as low as this Kasuka showing up in Hinamazawa. It only happened randomly in my other lives. This is not the first time. It happened before too. I should see it for myself. I needed to see if I'd gotten stuck inside a devastating world again.
力になるから話して。
Will you talk to me?
ごめんなさいです。
I'm sorry.
さよなら。
Goodbye.
あ、リカちゃん。
Hey, Rika-chan! I started running. I couldn't pretend like I didn't know where she was. Pop, 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 pop. Please, don't tell me that I was blessed only up to this point. I'm about to fall back into my unfortunate fate from here on. I thought that this world was different. I thought I could move on to a happy future. I thought I'd be able to defeat my deadly fate in this life. But this was just horrible. It was horrible that this was happening in this world. I was standing in front of the place that I hate the most in Hinamazawa. Yes, it's Satoko's real home, the Hojo residence. I've been living with her since last fall, so this house was empty. In the beginning, she used to come back here to pick up her clothing and other necessities. But once she moved most of her stuff to my house, Satoko stayed away from this place. This is a sad place for Satoko, because all she could remember of it was the horrible time she spent with her uncle and aunt, and the memory of her missing brother Satoshi. That's why she never wanted to come back here. But that wasn't the reason I hate the house. It's because I know what happens whenever this house becomes an issue in my life. Oh God, please, please bless me with just one more fortune. I closed my eyes and prayed, then I slowly opened them. The window was open on the second floor. I saw a faded curtain swinging inside. As soon as I saw that, my knees realized what was going on, even before my mind processed it. In the next moment, I lost strength in my legs and collapsed on the ground. I saw an unfamiliar motorcycle parked by the house. I also saw laundry and a futon hanging outside. I was certain that someone was living here. It was proof that someone was living inside this house. It's never good when there's someone living inside this house. This was very, very bad. I knew exactly why. I knew why, but I felt like I wanted to act like I didn't know why. Didn't know.
Rika?
Rika?
Satoko!
Satoko! Satoko went outside to take the futon in and noticed me.
Rika?
Rika? Satoko looked down and forced herself to smile. I felt so sad. It wasn't just her expression. I could tell that her left cheek was red and swollen.
Satoko, こんなとこにいないで、お家へ帰りましょうです。
Satoko, don't stay here. Let's go home. I took her hand, but she still looked down without squeezing back.
Rika.
Rika?
私、今日からこっちの家で暮らそうと思いますの。
I think I'm going to go back to this house.
どうしてなのですか？
Why is that?
私のおじさんが帰ってきましたの。
My uncle came back.
それでこっちの家で一緒に暮らそうって話になりまして。
And he told me we should live together in this house.
サトコはそんなの望んでないはずなのです。
I know that's not what you want.
意地悪なおじさんなんかと一緒に住んで楽しいはずがないのです。
You don't want to live with your mean uncle.
でもどうしようもありませんわ。
But I have no choice.
リカの家へ帰っても連れ戻されるだけですもの。
If I go back to your house, he'll come and get me.
リカに迷惑がかかってしまいますわ。
I don't want to cause any trouble for you. She gave up with a sad smile. She looks exactly how she looked 1 year ago, in 1982. Her uncle only slapped her face, and she's back to being the Satoko from 1982. The cheerful Satoko that I knew until yesterday could no longer be found. I took care of Satoko and tried to heal her wounded heart for over a year. She finally got her smile back, but her uncle took it all away with just one slap to her face. A broken soul can recover over time, but her damaged heart can never be fixed completely. I just took the broken pieces and put them back together. The cracks in her heart will always be there. That's why she wouldn't come with me, no matter how hard I tried to pull her hand. She couldn't get over the fear. She knew just how scary her uncle could be.
Satoko!
Satoko!
なんでほったらかん
The hell are you doing?
どこ行きよんね
You better not go anywhere! I heard a disgusting voice from inside the house. Satoko stared at the ground. Her shoulders were shaking.
な
Huh?
なんじゃよ、それは
Who the hell is this? He came out and stood right behind her.
なんでもありませんの。
It's nothing.
お友達と会っただけですのよ。
I just bumped into my friend.
したらんどうでもええんね
I don't care.
それよか風呂け磨かんかい風呂け
Go inside and clean the bathtub.
わしは風呂に入りたいしちゃったなこら
I wanted to take a bath, you idiot. Satoko scampered back inside the house like a terrified small animal. I feel devastated as I watch her go.
遊びの約束だったかい
Were you asking her out to play?
すまんのちょいとさとこは家の片付けで忙しいんよ
I'm sorry, but she's busy taking care of chores.
わしはさとこのおじなんね
I'm her uncle.
ちょっと長いこと出張に出とってん
I've been out for a while on a business trip.
ようやくひなみ沢に戻ってきたわけなんよ
I'm finally back in the village, you know? Liar. He only showed back up because his lover went missing. In another world, I once let my hatred out on him. But then he inflicted that anger in equal turn onto Satoko. So I couldn't allow the dark flame burning within my chest to reflect in my eyes. Since I couldn't make myself smile, and I couldn't insult him, all I could do was give him a short bow and run away from the scene.
なんね泣く子も黙るわしのガンにビビってもうたんかいね
You're intimidated by my scary face, huh? I heard his hideous laughter from behind me. I cried as I ran away. I couldn't stop crying. I thought this was a perfect world up until today. Why was God doing this to me? It was so cruel. But I couldn't give up yet. I couldn't do anything, but I still had hope for this world. I didn't think that the luck I had until yesterday was just a random thing. I went back to my house in a hurry. I needed to make a phone call. I didn't know the number because it was my first time calling the place. I looked inside the phone book and found it easily. I made a call to that number. It's gotta be like a hit line, a hitman line phone number. Oh, it's not. Oh, hello. Didn't expect to get a call from you, Furude-san. What can I do for you? I already knew that Oishi could never say Satoko, based on what I've seen in my previous lives. For him, Satoko is only a good way to get at the Sonozaki family. Her uncle is probably his prey in that regard too. Even if I talked to him about her situation, he would do nothing to save her. The only thing he would tell me would be to call the child consultation center.
大石、赤坂とお話ししたいのですが、いますですか？
I want to talk with Akasaka. Is he there?
赤坂さんですか？
Akasaka-san.
温泉行ってますよ。和倉温泉。
He went to the hot springs in Wakura with his wife. Wakura? That's not anywhere near here. I thought he was staying here until Wabanagashi.
なんでも温泉宿をやってる親類にご厄介になれるとかだそうで。
I heard he's going to stay in a hotel owned by a relative of his.
いやいや、羨ましいことです。
I wish I could go too.
え
What?
和倉ですか
You want to know where Wakura is?
石川県ですよ。能登半島の。
It's in the Ishikawa prefecture, on the Noto Peninsula. No way. He told me that he was staying here until Wabanagashi. I thought he meant he was staying in Hinamazawa. But did he actually mean his this area of the country in general?
赤坂と連絡は取れませんですか？
Can you get a hold of him somehow? That was a meaningless question. There's no way I could get him to come here while he's enjoying his trip with his wife. Even if I can talk to him on the phone, he'll probably only tell me to call the child consultation center or something.
お泊まりの旅館は聞いてませんしね。
I don't know where he's staying.
ものすごい高級旅館だって言ってたから、多分某有名なあそこだろうなとは思うんですがね。
I heard it's a very famous luxury hotel, so I can make a pretty good guess. It's not time to laugh, Oishi. This is serious business.
まあ最近の宿はガードが固いから部屋番号も知ってないと繋いでくれませんしね。
But I'm sure they won't give me the room numbers since they're strict about customer privacy these days.
わかりました。もう電話はいいです。
Okay then.
でも赤坂は綿流しのお祭りに来るとは言ってませんでしたか？
Did Akasuka tell you that he's coming to the Wabanagashi festival?
そうです。
Yes, he did.
こちらへは能登への行きと帰りに滞在されるんですよ。
He's coming back here after the hot springs.
だから先日も一泊されてくつろがれた後、すぐ立たれました。
They stayed here for only one night and then left for the Noto Peninsula.
だから綿流しの直前にまたこちらへ戻ってきて滞在されると思います。
I'm sure they'll be back before the day of festival.
あなたにお土産を買ってくると言ってましたよ。
He said he'd be back with a souvenir for you. How terrible. I thought it was too good to be true. I knew it was a kind of strange for him to stay in a boring place like this. My luck seems to be turning. This might not be a surprise though. Just like I can roll a 6 3 times in a row, I can roll a 1 3 times in a row too. Happy things and unhappy things can happen with equal probability.
もしもし。
Hello?
何か伝言があるなら会った時に伝えておきますよ。
If you want to leave a message, I'll take it for you. I looked at the calendar on the wall. I didn't know when he was coming back, but I was certain he wouldn't be for at least one more week. I thought back to the past to try and remember what happened. That guy will break Satoko apart in 1 week. I couldn't wait that long. I had to give up on seeking help from Akasuka. Well, that's okay. So I had one more option. One more person I could rely on.
いえ、いなければいいのです。
No, that's alright.
ありがとうですよ、大石。
Thank you for your help.
ニパー。
Not. Nipa! I hung up on the phone after thanking him. I couldn't make a phone call to the next person. I'd have to talk to him in person. I put my shoes on and headed to the Irie clinic. I know one man for the job. Pervy baseball coach. The clinic's hours were over for the day. There was usually no one here after that. However, since Tomatake was here, they should still be inside the building for a meeting. They had to be there. The front door of the clinic was locked as I expected. I went around to the back door and rang the bell. The whole clinic is nervous when Tomatake is around. They usually ignore visitors, but I'm special.
どうしましたか？
What's wrong?
緊急の要件と聞きました。
I heard you had an emergency.
私まで用とあっては穏やかな話ではなさそうね。
You need me too? That doesn't sound good. Irie and Takano showed up soon after I was taken to the visitor's room. If Rika Furude has an emergency, then it's a priority for these two people. I'm the most important person in this village.
ひょっとして 例の件ですか？
Could it be?
誰かに狙われているという。
Someone is trying to get you?
あなたの近辺は常時山犬の中でも特に優秀な連中が警護してくれているわ。
You are protected at all times by the elite security of the mountain dogs.
あなたとあの日した約束をちゃんと守っているわよ。
They've been watching you since the day we made that promise. Hee hee hee. I have no doubt about that. They saved me right away when we had that confrontation with those 3 delinquents the other day.
いえ、そうではないのです。お願いがあるのです。
That's not it. I have a favor to ask.
実は、サトコの危機を救ってあげてほしいのです。
I want you to save Satoko from danger.
サトコちゃんに何かあったんですか？
What happened to Satoko-chan? Irie doesn't have that much power alone, even if he really wants to save her. But Takano controls the mountain dogs, so she does have that power. In my previous lives, I was never able to get help from the mountain dogs because I wasn't on good terms with Takano. But this world is different. I have a better relationship with her in this life, and she even kept the promise she made. I trust their ability completely now.
あの北条哲平さんがですか？
Teppei Hojo-san is back?
なんてことでしょう。
That's horrible. It was mainly Satoko's aunt who was abusing her last year, but Irie knows that her uncle was violent with her too. I told them that Satoko had gone back to the same condition she was in the previous year.
このままではいつ何があるのかわかりませんです。
I don't know what will happen.
サトコを助け出すために力を貸してほしいのです。
I need you to help me save Satoko. Irie seemed to want to do something for her, but he didn't know exactly what to do.
こういうのはどうすればいいんでしょう？
What shall we do?
やはり警察に相談した方がいいでしょうか？
Shall we call the police and let them know?
さて、どうかしら？
I don't know about that.
現時点では親権者が現れてサトコちゃんを保護しただけよ。
At this point, all he did was come back and take her in as her legal guardian, right?
サトコちゃんが大怪我でもしたというならともかく。
It's not like she's been seriously injured by him.
そういうわけではないんでしょう？
That's not the case, right?
そんなのは時間の問題なのです。
But it's only a matter of time.
このままでは大変なことになってしまうのです。
Something bad is going to happen if we don't do anything. I hate to say that it's only a matter of time. I knew how she was going to get abused and how she was going to end up. I've seen it in the past. I really wanted to tell them about it, but I couldn't do that. As it hasn't happened in this world yet, they just think I was imagining it.
多分こういうのはまず児童相談所に訴えるのが先じゃないかしら？
I think you should call the Child Consultation Center first. Rika just throws her hands up in the air. God damn it! She was on the phone with Oishi and she's like, if I tell Oishi, I'll say contact Child Consultation Center. If I talk to Akasaka, I'll say to just call the Child Consultation Center. Takano says the same damn thing.
そういえば以前、
I remember.
サトコちゃんが児童相談所に虚偽の通報をしたなんてことがありましたね。
Satoko-chan made a false report to the Child Consultation Center once.
ちゃんと話を聞いてくれるといいのですが。
I wonder if they would take her seriously. The answer is no. My friends contacted the Child Consultation Center several times in the past. Excuse me, but Satoko always refuses their help. She claims that she isn't being abused. The Satoko from 1983 might have asked for their help, but currently she was the Satoko from 1982. For her, living with her uncle reminds her of the time when Satoshi was around. She feels like Satoshi will come back if she can live strongly without always relying on her brother. Even if the Child Consultation Center were to take the case seriously, it's just too late. I tried to remember. In the most recent world I experienced, it only took a few days after Satoko was kidnapped by her uncle. It only took a few days for him to tear her heart apart. We had no time to waste. We needed to take action quickly.
サトコちゃん自身が助けを求めてくれないことには助けようがないのが悔しいです。
We can't really do anything unless she seeks help.
入江先生の方から警察やお役所に連絡することもできるとは思うけど、そこまでが限界ね。
I think Dr. Irie can call the police, but that's about it.
気の毒とは思うけど。
I'm very sorry.
違うのです。違うのです。
That's not it.
高野の力で聡子を助け出してほしいのです。
I want you to help her, Takano. Irie and Takano looked shocked and both went quiet. They didn't expect me to seek help from Takano.
それは強硬的な手段に訴えろということですか？
You mean you want us to take a much bolder action?
僕はそういうお願いをしに今日ここへ来ていますのです。
I'm here to ask for that.
そうでなければこんな時間に押しかけたりしませんです。
I wouldn't be here this late otherwise.
お気持ちはわかります。
I understand.
ですが、
But
入江、聡子を大事に思うならどうか一生のお願いなのです。
Irie, if you truly cherish Satoko, then please just listen to me for this once.
聡子を助けてくださいなのです。
Please save Satoko.
聡子はあと何日もしないうちに本当にひどいことになってしまいます。
In less than a few days, she'll really end up in a horrible shape.
それは決まっていることなのです。
That's already guaranteed.
もうしばらく様子を見てみようでは見殺しにするのと全く同じなのです。
If you try to wait and see how things go, it'll be no different than watching her die.
入江は去年の聡子をもう忘れてしまったのですか？
Have you forgotten how Satoko was last year, Irie?
もうそうなっているのです。今この瞬間にも。
She's already reverted to that state. Right this very second.
そしてあと数日で取り
Move,
返しのつかない
Irie!
ことになってしまうのです。
With haste. In a few more days, it'll be too late to do anything. All I could do was stare at him. Give him the disappointed Rika face. Hit him with it. Hit him with that stare. Believing that Irie could see the future, only I knew the tragic end awaiting Satoko reflected my eyes. Irie remained silent for too long a time to call brief. Someone trying to think of some excuse to avoid the issue wouldn't go silent that long. He was recalling Satoko's terrible state last year, seriously considering if my plea was as urgent as I made it out to be. I know that he really cares about her. That's why I need this help.
どうしようかしらね。
What shall we do? Irie nodded and looked up. I guess he finally came to a conclusion. I just hope it's a positive one.
高野さん、
Takano-san,
リカちゃんの頼みを聞いてあげてください。
please do what Rika-chan wants you to do.
入江、
Irie!
去年、聡子ちゃんに何の手も差し伸べられなかった無力さに悩んだことがあります。
I remember how hopeless I felt when I couldn't do anything to save Satoko-chan last year.
これはその時傍観して手を尽くさなかった私が罪を滅ぼす唯一のチャンスだと思います。
I want to take this chance and save her this time.
しかし、そうはおっしゃいますけれど。
But, Doctor... Takano didn't think that Irie would make that decision. She seemed shocked to hear his response.
当施設の責任者として正式に高野さんにお願いしたいと思います。
I would like to ask you as the director of this clinic.
聡子ちゃんをどうか助けてあげてください。
Please help Satoko-chan.
入江先生、助けるという言葉がどういう意味か少しわかりかねます。
Dr. Irie, what do you mean when you say to help her?
どうか落ち着いてください。
Please calm down.
聡子ちゃんは我々にとって欠かすことのできない存在です。
Satoko-chan is very important to us.
これまでも、そしてこれからも我々の研究に最大限貢献するでしょう。
She has greatly contributed to our research for a long time.
本件は高野さんの職務に含まれるものとお察しします。
Protecting her is considered one of your work orders. Irie continued, though Takano tried to persuade him.
所長、入江京介としてお願いいたします。
Kyosuke Irie is asking you as your boss.
高野さん、どうか聡子ちゃんを救ってください。
Please save Satoko-chan. I stared into Takano's eyes together with him.
高野も聡子と仲良しだったはずです。
I thought you and Satoko were friends.
どうか聡子の友人として助けてあげてくださいです。
Please help her as her friend.
助けてください。 という言い方がお二人とも実に偽善的ね。
Helper, huh? That's a hypocritical way of saying it.
さとこちゃんをさらって永遠に監禁するわけじゃないんでしょ？
You're not telling me to kidnap her and lock her up somewhere safe.
さとこちゃんにこれまでと同じ生活を送らせるために救うのでしょ？
You want me to help her so she can have a normal, happy life.
それはつまり叔父の方を摘出せよというご命令ですわよね。
In other words, you want her uncle dead, right?
卑怯な言い方をすれば、妖精に対しどう対処するかを決定する権限が高野さんにあります。
Irie just looks at her and is like, well, I'm not telling you not to kill him. No, he actually says, you have the right to make the ultimate decision of how you're going to save her.
でもそれが卑怯ならば、私がはっきりそれを口にしても構いません。
But if you don't want to, I don't mind making that decision.
入江先生、いえ、入江所長、
Dr. Irie? No. Section Chief?
そのご命令を実行すれば私は無論、そして入江所長も責任を問われることになりますが、その覚悟は終わりですか？
If we carry out your order, both you and I will be responsible for it. Are you sure you're ready for that? I looked at his face. Unlike me, Irie has many things to lose. I knew that Takano's words would shake him emotionally. However, Irie was determined.
ええ、構いません。
Yes, that's fine.
申し開きをする場へ引き出されても、自身の心を裏切るよりはるかにマシです。
Even if I'm called forward to defend my actions, it's better than betraying my own heart.
左門がどういうものかもご存じないのに大した虚勢だことで。
An impressive show from someone who doesn't know what a hearing's like. I got confused there for a second.
高野さんが上手にやってくだされば、東京に知られずに済みます。
If you do it quietly, they may not find out about it in Tokyo.
それで誰もが円満に決着できませんか？
Everyone would be happy that way.
リスクばかりで見返りのない仕事ね。
All risk and no reward.
高野が望むなら神社の宝物を他にもたくさん見せてあげますです。
If you want, I'll show you more treasures in the shrine.
もう見せるのを意地悪したりしないです。
I'll never restrict you from seeing those things.
だから今回だけ助けてほしいのです。
So please help me. The risk she's taken is larger than the reward I'm offering, but that's about the only thing I can offer her. I don't care about the traditions of the Fude Shrine as long as I can save my friend from her suffering.
わかりました。
Fine.
これじゃ私が悪者みたいだものね。
I don't want to be the bad guy here. She forced a smile and accepted the favor I asked her for.
ありがとう、高野さん。
Thank you, Takano-san.
どういう風に助けるかは一任いただきます。
I want you to make the decision of how to save her.
具体的なプランは後でお好みと相談します。
I will have a meeting with Okanogi later to plan out the mission.
後ではダメです。今でないとダメなのです。
Not later. It has to be now. She promised to save Satoko, but she still wasn't motivated for it. It'd be too late if she didn't do something right now. I tried to make Takano understand that this is an urgent matter.
そうですね。
That's right.
リカちゃんも、そして私も、今この場でしっかり納得のいく決着がつくことを願っています。
Rika-chan and I want to see some kind of result right now.
こんな時間にせかして申し訳ありませんが、どうかお願いできませんか？
I'm sorry for asking you this at this time, but can you please contact them now?
二人ともさとこちゃんのこととなると目の色が違うんだから。わかりました。
You guys are so passionate about her. Okay.
少し待たせるかもしれませんがお待ちください。
Might take a few minutes.
無理を聞いてくれてありがとう。
Thank you very much.
いいえいいえ。
No problem.
私の給与査定者の頼みですもの。
It's an order from my boss.
笑顔でお引き受けいたしますわ。
I'll do whatever I can.
リカちゃんはさっきの約束絶対に忘れないでよ。
Just don't forget that promise you made, Rika-chan.
きっとなのです。
I promise.
神社に来た時はおまんじゅうとお茶もつけますのです。
I'll even serve you some rice cakes and tea when you come to the shrine. That's a fair exchange, right? Being served rice cakes and tea, and professionally taking taking out a man, a shitty man. It's a fair exchange. Takano smiled slightly and then left the room. Once we finally heard her footsteps fade away, the tension in the room dissolved. Irie offered me something to drink, but I refused. He must have thought everything was taken care of, but I couldn't relax until Satoko was physically returned to me.
いりえ、
Irie?
さとこですが、お薬とかは大丈夫なのですか？
Does she have enough medication with her?
おじはさとこが逃げ出すと思って家から出さないと思いますから、もうここへ来ることはできないと思います。
Her uncle will keep her locked inside the house, so she won't be able to come here for a while.
幸いなことに先週まとめて針と薬を渡してあります。
Fortunately, I gave her a stock of medicine and needles last week.
ですのでしばらくは問題ないでしょう。
She should be fine for a while.
ただ強い精神負担は薬でも抑えきれません。
However, her mental state can't be controlled by the medication.
少しずつ追い詰められ、いつか取り返しのつかないことになるでしょう。
If she gets too stressed, that can really cause some damage.
そのいつかというのはほんの数日後の話なのです。
That'll happen within a few days. Takano hadn't come back yet. I thought it would be bad news if she came back too early, but I started feeling nervous after she had taken so long. Irie insisted that I go home because it was getting very late. I couldn't go home and relax, however, until I heard from her that everything was taken care of. I had to wait for her to come back. I needed to deal with this tension until then. Over an hour later, Takano finally returned.
お待たせ。
I'm sorry it took so long.
ああ、いかがでしたか？
How did it go? She was looking for the right words. I got a very bad feeling from her reaction alone.
残念だけど簡単にいかなくなったわ。
Unfortunately, it won't go as easy as we hoped anymore.
どうしてですか？
Why is that?
つい最近沖宮で殺人事件があったらしいの。
There was a murder case in Okinomiya not too long ago.
その事件に何らかの関与があると疑って北条哲平を警察がマークしてるらしいわね。
The police suspect Teppei Hojo of involvement in the crime, and they have him marked.
事件？
A murder case?
何ですかそれは？
What do you mean?
間宮とかいう女が園崎家の上納金に手を出して見せしめに殺されたとかなんとかで。
Some woman named Mamiya laid her hands on the Sonozaki family's earnings and was murdered to set an example.
警察が北条家と園崎家の関係に慎重になったらしいのよ。
Apparently the police have taken an interest in the relationship between the Hojos and the Sonozakis.
その女はどうも北条哲平と実婚らしい。
Turns out that woman was Teppei Hojo's lover.
綿流しも近いしね。
Watanagashi is getting closer too.
お社様のたたりの5年目をなんとか阻止したい警察が北条哲平が今年の犠牲者じゃないかとマークして釣り糸を垂らしてるって話みたい。
The police want to prevent the fifth curse of Oishiro-sama this year, so they marked Teppei Hojo as the candidate for this year's victim and started casting their lines.
釣り糸って何なんですか？
Well, what do you mean by lines?
北条哲平をマークしてればお社様のたたりの真犯人を釣り上げられると睨んでるのよ。
They suspect they can reel in the true culprit behind Oishiro-sama's curse if they keep their eyes on Teppei Hojo.
なんてことだ。
So,
では
you mean...
リカちゃん、本当に申し訳ないんだけど、
Rika-chan, I'm very sorry.
警察のマークが外れるまで 山犬には手の出しようがない。
But the mountain dogs can't do anything to him until the police stop spying on him.
そんな
No!
山犬の方ならもっと困難な任務でもこなせるでしょうに。
I thought the mountain dogs could perform any mission, no matter how difficult.
それは入念な準備と計画に基づき、しかるべき機を見ての話です。
That's only when we plan out carefully with extensive preparation.
通常は長い監視期間を設け、その上でタイミングを測ります。
Usually we take a long time to observe the target, and we look for the right opportunity.
同等の任務なら半年から1年をかけるところです。
It can take between 6 months and 1 year for a mission like this.
今更言うことではありませんが、私たちは決して日の当たるところへ出ることができない存在です。
Remember, we are a secret organization. We must remain out of the spotlight.
日の元へ出たならば灰になる存在なのです。
If our secret is revealed, everything is over.
だからマークされ眩しく照らし出された今の状態では近づくことすらできない。
It's too risky for us to target someone like him.
ではいつならその木だと言うんですか。
Then when is the right opportunity coming?
最も早くて綿流しの後ね。
It'll be after Watanagashi at the earliest.
多分綿流しが終われば警察もマークを解くかもしれない。
After the festival, the police will stop watching him. But that would be too late. She's saying it'd be after Watanagashi. I didn't even know if that was a day after or a year after. She also said it usually takes at least 6 months to prepare this kind of mission. That's too long. I thought this world was different, but that hope was slipping through my fingers.
ではどうすれば聡子ちゃんを救えると言うんですか。
So, how can we save Satoko-chan?
日の当たる世界では日の当たる世界のルールで解決するのが筋かと思います。
I think it's best to follow the rules.
例えば警察へ相談する、児童相談所に相談する。
We should report this to the police or the child consultation center. Rika slams her fist on the desk. If I hear the 3 words child consultation center one more time,
学校へ相談するのも
I'm
方
just-
法かもしれません。
I'm just gonna murder Tepe Hojo with my own bare hands. By myself. We can even talk to the school.
それは何度もやったけど無駄だった。
Oh, here it comes. She's getting pissed. She's getting heated. I did that so many times, but it never worked. Yuri and Takano were surprised. They had never expected me to raise my voice. In fact, I didn't think myself that I would react this way. But I couldn't keep my emotions in check after Takano suggested all those meaningless solutions.
私はお前たちにずっと協力してきた。
I've cooperated with you guys all this time.
何の見返りも求めず、ただただこの身を捧げて協力してきた。
I never asked for anything and I just gave you my support.
それなのに、どうして聡子の一人だけが救えないというのか。
But now you can't save Satoko?
あれだけの力を持ちながら、どうして聡子を救うことにのみ臆病なのか。
With all of that power you have, why are you so afraid of saving her?
何の力にもならない警察や役所、
The police and public services are useless.
そして利用するだけして何も助けてくれないお前たち。
You guys only take advantage of us and never actually help.
もういい、もういい。私はよくわかった。
Fine, I get it now.
この世界が袋小路だということがよくわかった。
I know now that this world is nothing but a dead end.
もうお前たちには興味ない。この世界にも未練はない。
I'm not interested in you guys anymore. I don't care about this world anymore.
そうさ、あれだけの幸運に恵まれても、結局私はこの運命から逃れられなかった。
That's right. I can never escape my fate.
そうさそうさ、またいつもの運命。
It's the same old fate that I keep on repeating.
お前は山奥で焼かれて死ね。お前は睡眠薬で自ら死ね。
You just burn to death in the mountains. You just take sleeping pills and commit suicide. Damn, she's burning it down. She's like, fuck you guys.
そして私は当然のようにまた死のう。
I'll die just like I always do too.
どういう殺され方をするのか、未だに知らず命を散らそう。
I'll lose my life without knowing how I'm killed.
ここは運命の袋小路、行き止まり。
This life is nothing but a dead end.
私は生まれた時から殺されるために生かされている運命の家畜。
I was born to be killed in this world.
みんな死ね死ね、みんな死ね。
Die, everyone, die!
どうせ終わる世界なんだ。消えてしまえ。
There's no meaning to this world anymore. Jeez. Ugh. I can't put words to my emotions anymore, and I started to cry. I was so lucky up until yesterday. I had so much hope in my heart, but it all had been for nothing. It felt like everything was falling apart. I've lived for more than 100 years. I've lived longer than a normal human lifetime. I thought I was blessed with good fortune for the first time in my life. This would never happen to me again. I thought a miracle had occurred, but everything was shattered. I cried and cursed this world. I needed to give up on my life as soon as possible. Satoko would be waiting for me with a smile in my next one. I wanted to go see her. But what would happen to the Satoko in this world? What would happen if I abandoned her? I didn't know, and I didn't care. Satoko? 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 Satoko. I'm a witch who has lived for 100 years, but I still couldn't rid myself of the human emotions of my heart. I didn't get anything to eat because Satoko was supposed to be making dinner tonight, but I didn't have an appetite anyway, so I figured I should just go to bed. I still had to make lunch for the next day, though. Satoko might come to school tomorrow. I rinsed the rice, hoping that I wouldn't have to waste the lunch that I was making for the two of us. I had to stop thinking like that. I already knew it was a waste to make her lunch. I already knew that Satoko wasn't coming to school ever again. I felt so miserable while rinsing the rice. A tear started dropping into it as I thought about her. Why was this happening in this world? I thought everything changed when Chie gave that doll to Mion. In that world, Mion pretended to be her sister for a week and got closer to Chie. But that wasn't happening this time. I thought we'd be having a good time until the festival. Huh? That's odd. Wasn't that club activity 2 weeks before Wabnagashi? I realized something. Club activity was exactly the same, but it happened 1 week earlier than in the world I knew of. It was 1 week earlier than in my previous life. I get it now. I thought I was familiar with this world, but it was actually a different one where events are mixed up. It means that even though Chie gave the doll to Mion, that didn't solve everything. I thought I was getting lucky. I was confident that everything was going to be okay. I stopped making an effort. I knew that there was a possibility that Satoko's uncle was coming back, but I let her go do the grocery shopping. I would have been more careful and kept her home if I knew he was coming back to get her. I should be careful in my next life. But there wouldn't be a next life that was so fortunate. I didn't get lucky that often. Even if I locked Satoko inside the closet, it'd be over if Rina's father messed up something, or if Chie lost his mind. I have to clear up everything that's not within my reach, and I also have to make the best effort I can. Without that, I can't overcome the fate of 1983. In this life, I may be able to overcome my deadly fate with Takano's help, but Satoko will not be there in my future. That defeats the whole purpose. My goal is to survive this year without laughing with my goal is to survive this year while laughing with my best friends. I didn't want to sacrifice Satoko in order to survive. I don't want to live in a world without her. I was blessed with all those fortunes, but I still couldn't deny my destiny. I ruined everything because I stopped working so hard. I will never again have a lucky life like this. I lost my first and only chance. I cried and scratched at the floor. I didn't know if I should curse my fate or curse myself for not putting forth enough effort. Before I realized it, Hanyu was standing in front of me. I didn't know how long she had been there. She just stared down at me with a look of pity on her face.
Hanyu.
Hanyu,
あんたの言いたいことは分かってる。
I know what you're trying to say.
だから運命に期待するなと言った。でしょ。
You want to tell me that you told me not to get my hopes up.
期待するななんて酷な話よ。
There's no way I wouldn't get my hopes up.
あれだけ全てに恵まれた。サイコロを振る前から6が出ると確信できる世界なんて初めてだった。
With it being the first time I was blessed with so many fortunate circumstances.
あれだけの勢いがあればきっと打ち破れると信じた。
I believed that everything would go well.
それでもあんたはあのおもちゃ屋の時からずっと言ってたわね。
But you were always telling me
期待しすぎるなと。
not to expect too much. She probably felt something strange at the toy store that day. She realized that the date was 1 week off, and this was not the same world that I knew. She had realized early on that I still shouldn't be too excited about this life.
僕もリカと一緒にいて短くないのです。
I've been with you for a long time.
だからリカに聞かれると思って先に言いますです。
So let me tell you this first before you ask me.
僕にも今日の運命など分かりませんでしたです。
I couldn't predict what fate held for us today either.
ただ僕から助言できるのはただ一つ。
The only advice I can give you is this.
この世の運命なんて秋の空より気まぐれで一喜一憂するにも当たらない祭事に過ぎないということなのです。
Fate in this world is as fickle as the weather, nothing more than a trifle unworthy of joy or sorrow. There are 6 sides on a die. That's the reality of it, and it doesn't mean that the 6 is the best number either. I should just take any number that I roll. I shouldn't be disappointed if I roll a 1 a few times in a row. It's pathetic how I thought rolling a 6 was the best result you could obtain.
100年ちょいを生きるくらいじゃそこまで悟るなんて難しいわね。
Still have many things to learn, even though I've been living for more than 100 years.
でもリカ、僕も何度か言いましたが、今回の世界は奇跡ではありませんです。
I told you several times, but this world is not a miracle.
我慢強く待てばきっとまた巡ってくる世界なのです。
If you wait patiently, you will come across a real miracle someday.
我慢強く待てばってそれは何十年後
How many decades am I supposed to wait patiently?
何百年後の話なの。
How many centuries do I have to wait?
もう私たちには力は残っていない。
We don't have much power left anymore.
多分再び世界をやり直しても昭和58年の6月より前へは戻れない。
I don't think we can go back to a time before June of 1983.
それどころか戻れる時間はどんどん短くなっていく。
The amount of time we can rewind keeps decreasing.
そんな短い日々を再び奇跡が起こるまでずっとずっと繰り返せというの。
You're telling me to just repeat that short amount of time for years?
数年を繰り返す世界ですら狂ってしまいそうになるというのに。
I almost lost my mind when I was repeating a few years over and over again.
たった 1,2 週間の世界を再び奇跡が起こるまで永遠に生き続けろというの。
But you're telling me to repeat 1 or 2 weeks for years until the miracle happens?
無理よ。無理無理。絶対無理。
That's impossible. Losing her mind. I was betting on this world. I bet all of my coins on this one world. And I lost. I lost all my coins to this fate. I have no more coins left in my heart. These coins are known as hope. I have no coins left to hope for my dreams to come true.
リカ。
Oh, Rika. I lay on the floor as if I collapsed. The floor should have been cold, but I didn't feel anything.
これが希望をすべて打ち砕かれるということね。
I lost all my hope. I always thought people could survive as long as they had some bread and water. But that's not right. People can't live without hope. People can survive because they believe that something good will happen to them eventually, as long as they keep on living. But that's just for normal people who don't know what awaits them in their future. There's no such hope for a witch like me.
もう何もかもがどうでもいい。
I don't care about anything anymore.
この世界だけじゃない。これからの世界も全てどうでもいい。
I don't care about this life, and I don't care about the next.
このまま灰になってしまえたら。
I just want to disappear and turn to ash.
リカ、そんなことを言ってはダメなのです。
Oh, Rika, please don't say that.
リカ。
Rika. Honey's voice gradually fades away. I slowly lost my senses as I lay down on the kitchen floor and let myself sink into the darkness. Time to pop that alcohol for Rika. Time to drink that devil's juice. Oh god. This is devastating. It's sad to read. I dragged my body to school, hoping that Satoko might be there. But, just as I expected, there was no one sitting in her seat. I felt all the more devastated just seeing it empty. I had nothing left to bet on. All I could do was get hurt and suffer devastation. Blood flowed from my broken heart and found its way out through my eyes in the form of tears.
フルデさん、どうしましたか？
Is something wrong, Furude-san?
今日は北条さんはお休みですか？
Is Hojo-san absent today? Whole class was wondering why I came in late today and why Satoko wasn't with me. But even if I felt sympathy from everyone's eyes on me, I didn't feel any promise from them. No one here was able to save Satoko. No one. No one could save her. Why should I have to keep smiling at all these useless people? This world is finished anyway. If I leave matters alone, then a few days after the Nagashi festival, my movie reel will be cut, as I'm murdered like usual. I'll return to the beginning of this month again. Of this month. Singular. Month again. I have a feeling... I think I even somewhat said it earlier, even in this stream. I think what she has to do is she has to realize, and it's a motif that we've dealt with now previous in this game, is that she's like, okay, I go into Oishi, Akasaka is not an option, can't go through Takano, can't go through Irie. I think she needs to learn, as I said earlier, that she's gonna have to turn to like Rina or Kechi or Mion to assist. Come on, Rika, see the light, see the friends. And so, I'll continue to live forever in June 1983, trapped here, because nothing bonds a friend group like a collective murder sesh. You know what I mean? Sesh. I said that funny. Shesh. Murder sesh. True facts. Trapped here. Even death won't set me free from that prison.
フルデさん、何かあったなら話してください。
Furude-san, please talk to me if something happened.
北条さんは今日はどうしたんですか？
Where is Hojo-san?
風邪でお休みですか？
Is she sick?
うるさいな。
Shut up. Whole class gasped. No one expected Rika Furude to talk like that. I, myself, made such blunt statements a few times in several past worlds, but it was always the first time anyone in that world heard anything like that. That must have been very easy for them, and I envied it.
フルデさん。
Furude-san. Chie was standing there dumbfounded. I stood up from my seat. Satoko wasn't around. I didn't want to be locked up inside of this humid place.
帰るわ。
I'm going home. I'm not coming here anymore. Goodbye. I felt like saying something like that. However, I retained the small hope that Satoko might go to school the next day, so I kept it to myself. However, Chie wouldn't let me go. She grabbed me by the arm and dragged me to the teacher's office instead. Chie told me to take a seat on a couch by the principal's office. She had no right to tell me what to do. I could just escape through the open window. As I didn't have that kind of energy, however, I sat on the couch as she told me to. I realized then that I didn't even have the energy to be rebellious. Maybe Satoko felt the same. She lost the energy to rebel, and so she was simply obeying her uncle.
フルデさん、
Furude-san,
何があったか話してください。
please tell me what's going on.
先生はきっと力になれますよ。
I'm sure I can help you. Chie spoke to me, but I already knew that her words were empty. Rika's gonna end up socking Chie if Chie utters the words Child Council Center or whatever the fuck it's called. She's gonna start swinging her fists around. All she would do was call the yeah, exactly. I didn't even read the line yet. I was looking away as I was saying that, making the joke. But yeah, Child Consultation Center. All she would do was call the Child Consultation Center. She wouldn't go to the Hojo residence and pull Satoko out of there. So there was no point in even discussing the topic with her. If I told her, she wouldn't keep it to herself. And shortly, everyone would know about what was happening with Satoko. That would only result in chaos. If they call the Child Consultation Center, the staff from there will go and visit Satoko. Her uncle will deny the abuse, and Satoko will also deny it because of the guilt she feels over Satoshi leaving. Shortly after, they'll find out about the false reports Satoko made before, and they'll decide to not proceed any further. Her uncle will allow Satoko to go to school for a few days, but his abuse will get worse because he'll think she's the one who called the Child Consultation Center. He'll do horrible things to her, just like her aunt did last year. Calling the Child Consultation Center will not help Satoko. It will instead put her in an even worse situation. It's better not to notify them at all. But if we don't report it, then how else is this world supposed to improve? No. Nothing is going to change. There's nothing that can be done once this unfortunate fate overtakes Satoko.
北条さんのおじさんが？
You say Hojo-san's uncle is back?
それは本当ですか？
Is that true? I had somehow answered all Chie's questions without noticing. I knew that nothing would change whether I spoke to her or not, so I just told her everything, because I had no energy to rebel.
だいたい状況はわかりました。
I understand what's going on now.
大変なことになりましたね。
This is horrible.
で、
So,
そこまで知って、あなたは何ができるの？
now that you know what's going on, what can you do? Chie answered right away, without faltering, already used to my spiteful tone.
今日、夕方に家庭訪問に行ってみます。
I will visit her house today.
まずはさとこちゃんに会って事情を聞いてみます。
I need to see Satoko-chan and talk to her first.
それで問題があるならば、児童相談所に相談するって言うんでしょう。
Then if there's a problem, you're going to call the Child Consultation Center, right?
さとこは過去に嘘の通報をした記録が残ってると思うからね。
They have it on record showing that she made false reports in the past.
虐待の確たる証拠がないと動いてくれないわ。
They'll never do anything unless there's proof of abuse. God, I really, truly, and this isn't just me, the big Rika fan saying this, but like, I really do feel for Rika in this situation. And like, it's so upsetting because it is the whole like, she finally got her hopes all built up. She was like, damn, we're actually fucking doing this shit. Despite everything, miracle after miracle is happening, and I might find a solution to this whole problem. I might not die this cycle. I might be able to just hang out with my friends into infinity, and then one thing goes wrong, and she's trying everything she can, and it's not working, and then immediately all the hope is gone, and you're just like, it's like, it hurts, because I'm like, God, she really allowed herself to be vulnerable for just a second and get her hopes up. All for it to just come crashing down here. Potentially.
人が殺されるまで捜査をしてくれない警察と全く同じよ。
Hope shattered. They're just like the police, who don't start investigating until after someone's dead.
サトコが殺されるまで相談所は動いてなんかくれない。
They won't do anything unless Satoko is killed.
そうすると相談所も学校もこう言うの？
When that happens, this is what both the school and the child consultation... When that happens, this is what both the school and the child consultation center will say.
いじめの兆候は全くなかった。普段は明るくて全く予見できなかったって誰かが用意してくれたコメントを読み上げるみたいに同じことを言うのよね。
We never saw this coming. She was such a bright girl. They'll just repeat the same words as if they were scripted.
本当にバカばっかね。
You people are idiots.
そこはきっと相談所の人が何とかしてくれると思います。
I believe that the people from the center will do something about it.
私も北条さんの窮状をしっかり訴えます。
I will make sure to tell them that she needs help. You've done the same in previous lives, too. I wasn't denying her passion, but I couldn't say that there was meaning to it. The problem wasn't with Chie. The problem was with them. No matter how hard Chie tried to seek help from child services, it meant nothing as long as they held biased notions about Satoko.
そんなの虐待の痕跡があるかどうかなんて関係ないじゃないですか。
Oh shit. It doesn't matter if they find proof of abuse or not. I suddenly heard a voice from the hallway. It was Shion's voice. Chie shouted, "Who's there?" and heard Mion gasping, "Crap!" They must have been listening to our conversation. They were having a quiet discussion outside the door, but Shion accidentally raised her voice. She gets so violent sometimes. 4 people entered into the room from the hallway. Mion, Shion, Kechi, and Rina.
自習だと言ったはずですよ。
I told you to stay in class.
委員長は皆さんを連れて教室に戻りなさい。
Go back to the classroom.
そんな場合じゃないです。
We can't. Not in this situation.
サトコに何かあったら先生、どう責任を取るつもりなんですか？
What are you going to do if something happens to Satoko?
取れないでしょ。
Do you want to be responsible for that?
酔ってる場合じゃないです。
There's no time to waste. Also, damn, does it see... I mean, we've already somewhat touched upon this and talked about it, but here we are. Here we get to see Shion actually sticking up and defending and wanting the best for Satoko. Oh, it feels good, man.
すぐに行動を起こさなきゃダメです。
We have to do something right now.
おねんのバカとかは虐待のちゃんとした証拠がないとむしろ事態を悪化させかねないとか言ってますけど、そんな証拠が残った後じゃ遅いんです。
My sis is saying that things will get worse unless there's some kind of proof of abuse, but it'll be too late once there is.
ミオンはサトコを見殺しにする気？
Do you want to see Satoko dead, Mion?
そこまで言ってないよ。
That's not what I'm trying to say.
さっきも言ったように、サトコには過去に虐待 SOS に嘘の通報電話をした経験があって、それ以来マークされてるんだよ。
Like I told you, Satoko once made a false report to the abuse hotline, and they have that record at the child consultation center.
だからしっかりした証拠がなければ、必ず訪問調査だけして様子見ってことになる。
Without proof, they won't investigate her case any further.
それはどういうことか考えなよ。
Just think about what that means.
おじの怒りに油を注ぐだけ。
It'll only make her uncle more furious.
サトコを余計追い詰めるだけなんだよ。
Satoko's situation will get even worse.
くそ、なんだよそれはよ。
What the hell?
何かある前に手を施すのが救うってことだろ。
They're supposed to help her before something happens, right?
サトコに致命的な虐待の痕跡が刻印されるまで放置しろってのか？
Are they really not going to do anything unless she's seriously injured?
みんな落ち着いて。
Calm down, you two.
私もしーちゃんやケイイチくんと同じ意見。
I feel the same as Shi-chan and Kechi-kun.
何かあるまで様子を見ようなんてのは絶対思わない。
I don't want to wait until something bad happens.
なら何ができるのかを考えなくちゃ。
But we need to think about what we can do.
何かってなんだ？
What can we do?
児童相談所に相談することだろ。
Or what can we do? I maybe should say it like that. Talk to the child consultation center, right?
絶対に助けてくれるならいいが、様子見になる確率が高いってミオンはそう言ってるわけだろ。
If we had the guarantee that would help her, it would all be fine. But Mion, you're saying it's highly likely they'll put her case on hold, right?
うん。
Yeah.
悔しいけど、昨年がそうだったように、今年もそうなる可能性が極めて高い。
Unfortunately, that's what I think they'll do, just like last year.
しかも今年は昨年に比べたら状況がまだまだ甘いの。
On top of that, she was in an even worse situation then.
去年は、聡子が十分に追い詰められている状態だった。
They put her case on hold even though Satoko was already in horrible shape.
でも今回は、まだおじに連れ去られて1日しか経ってない。
But this time, it's only been a day since her uncle took her away.
しかもおじは1年間放置していたとはいえ親権を持ってるし。
Plus, her uncle has legal custody of her.
そんな回りくどいことなんか必要ないでしょ。
We don't need to be so roundabout.
そんな野郎、待ち伏せてぶっ殺してやればいい。
All we have to do is ambush that bastard and kill him. God, I love Shion. She's a lady of action. She doesn't care who has to hear about it. I too love to talk about murdering a bad person in front of my teacher. Did it all the time in high school. Now I'm wanted by the FBI.
しーちゃん、そんなのダメ。
I'm wanted in 15 states. Shi-chan, you can't do that.
サトシ君はそんなのを絶対に喜ばないよ。
Satoshi-kun wouldn't want that.
じゃあ聡子をどうやって助ければいいんです。
Then how should we save Satoko?
サトシ君に頼まれた。聡子を頼むって頼まれた。
Satoshi-kun trusted me. He trusted me to look after Satoko.
私、聡子に何かあったら、サトシ君に顔向けできないよ。
If anything happens to Satoko, I can never face him again.
聡子がいじめ抜かれた後じゃないと手が打てないなんて、そんなの方法じゃない。
Having our hands tied until Satoko's been thoroughly abused isn't an option.
目の前で現在進行している犯罪はまず通報するの？
When a crime is taking place right before your eyes, is reporting it the first thing you do?
違うでしょ？
No, it isn't.
止めなきゃ。
You stop it.
私たちの手で自ら止めなきゃ。
We have to stop this ourselves.
落ち着きなよ、シオン。
Calm down, Shion.
おねえ、その先本家の当主でしょ？
You're the head of the Sonozaki family, aren't you?
本家の力で聡子を助けてよ。
Use your power to save Satoko.
できるでしょ？
You can do it, can't you?
聡子一人を助けるくらいの力は十分にあるでしょ、おねえ。
You have enough power to save her.
分かってるよ。ダム戦争で遺恨が残る北条家には一切関わらないって鬼ババの方針なんでしょ？
I know. The Hag's policy is to stay completely out of Hojo affairs because of her grudge over the dam conflict, right?
聡子がどうなろうと見て見ぬふりというのがその先本家の方針なんでしょ？
No matter what happens to Satoko, the Sonozaki main branch tends to ignore it, don't they?
児童相談所に助けられなくてその崎家にも助けられないなら私がやるしかないじゃないですか。
If neither the Child Consultation Center nor the Sonozaki family can save her, I have to do it on my own.
私はやるよ。聡子を不幸にするやつはぶっ殺してやる。
I'm going to do it. I'm going to kill that pig.
今すぐ殺してやる。この場から聡子の家まで行って刺し殺すのに1500秒もかからないんだから。
I'm going to do it right now. It's not going to take more than 1,500 seconds for me to get to her house and stab him to death.
あんたたちには1500秒で何ができる？
What can you do in 1,500 seconds?
何もできないでしょ？
You can't do anything, can you?
私が助ける。私が聡子を助けるの。
I'm going to do it. I'm going to help her.
話してよ、話してよ。
Let me go!
今から殺しに行くんだから。
I'm going to kill him right now. Wah. Brah.
シオンさん、お静かになさい。
The teacher's like, this is getting out of hand. I need to get control of the situation for once in my fucking life. I need to do something. I'm the authority here. Oh my god, what a disaster. Alright, Chie says, Shion-san, settle down.
物騒なことをこれ以上言うと怒りますよ。
Stop saying that or you're going to get into big trouble. I'm going to be really disappointed in you if you keep saying you're going to murder someone in front of me. They were desperately discussing how to save her. I just sat on the couch, and stared at them vaguely. I had seen the same discussion many times in many different situations. I was tired of listening to it. The only difference was that everything was happening a few days earlier than usual.
リカ
Rika,
大丈夫。
it's okay.
もう何にも期待なんかしないから。
I'm not going to expect anything good anymore.
期待なんてどこにも残ってない。
I don't have any hope left in my heart. Hanyu made a sad expression. I couldn't tell if she was sad about her fate or if she was taking pity on me. Just as she promised, Chie went to Satoko's house after school. It had only been a day since Satoko's uncle took her away. She wouldn't be able to tell if he'd heard her already or not. If the students hadn't made such a big fuss about it, Chie would have waited a couple of days before going to her house. She already knew, however, about what happened to Satoko the previous year. She also knew that her uncle was abusing her just like her aunt, and that he had neglected to act as her guardian for the whole year. Considering those factors, it might not have been too soon for her to visit the Hojo residence. Satoko hadn't shown up in school that day. No one called the school to explain her absence. That alone was proof that her uncle wasn't taking responsibility as her guardian. Chie was going to her house to see what was going on with her own eyes. She parked the car in the street and checked the map she brought from the school. It said Hojo residence on the sign in front of the house. Chie was certain that this had to be the place. The window on the second floor was open, and she could see a curtain hanging there. From that window, she could hear the laughing voices of several old men. No one had answered the phone when she called right before leaving the school. She could also hear the clicking noise of mahjong tiles along with the voices. She had never played mahjong before, but had a pretty good idea that was it from the way the men were talking. If they were playing mahjong, there must have been 3 other men inside the house. Her students had told her that Satoko's uncle was a very violent man. God, we're actually seeing Chie do something. I mean, you know my position as the ultimate Chie hater here, but like, what are the chances Chie actually gets something? I mean, I would be absolutely dumbfounded. I'd be awestruck if I see Chie accomplish something right now. I will take back most of what I've said. Everything critical I've said of Chie. If she somehow strolls up to the Hojo residence here, I don't know. If she somehow just takes Satoko out of the situation, I would be completely awestruck. If she just rings the doorbell, Teppei Hojo answers the door, and she just stabs him in the heart with a knife that she decided to bring, I will go streaking. I don't know, I tried to think of something just absolutely insane to do. If Chie just pulls out a gun right as he answers the door, and she kills him, and the 3 mahjong players, and then takes Satoko, no questions asked, Chie immediately gets bumped to the S tier character tier list we do at the end of the series, above everyone else. That's what it would take, though. She would have to take out these 4 people right now. I'd have to see it with my own eyes right now. Chie was a teacher, true, but she was also just a young lady. She felt hesitant to ring the doorbell after hearing their disgusting laughter. But courage drove her forward. She made her decision and rang the doorbell. You know what's most likely going to happen, though? She's going to have someone answer the door. She's going to be like, "Is everything okay in there?" basically. They're going to laugh her off, and then she's going to timidly walk away. That's most likely what's going to happen. I'm ready for it. I'm mentally prepared for that. All right. I'm prepared. Do you know how upset I would be if I had to put Chie at the very top of the character tier list after so much shit talking I did to her? That's how confident I know that nothing like that would happen. She heard the bell ring inside the house, but the laughing voices continued to echo from the second floor. It seemed as though they didn't hear the bell. She rang the bell again, and this time the laughter stopped for a moment. Someone must have heard the sound, but soon after, they started laughing again. It didn't sound like anyone was coming to get the door. She thought someone heard the bell, but perhaps not. Chie was sure they were home, of course. She couldn't leave just because no one was answering the door. She knocked and yelled loudly this time.
こんにちは。
Hello?
北条さん、いらっしゃいませんか？
Are you home, Hojo-san? Finally, laughter stopped and a man with a scary look on his face opened the door.
なんじゃいね、踊れは。
Who the fuck are you?
やかましか、とっととうせえ。
Shut up and get the hell out of here. Chie felt intimidated by him, but her heart was filled with the teacher's pride and responsibility.
こんにちは。北条さんでいらっしゃいますか？
She's so bright and cheery about this. Hello? Are you Hojo-san?
私。
I am... Before she could introduce herself, Teppei screamed at her.
やかましか。
Just shut up!
新聞も牛乳も保険も間に合っとんねん。
I don't need no newspaper, no milk, no insurance.
わしゃ今むっちゃ忙しいよ。
I'm busy right now.
仕事中じゃいね。
I'm working. People in the room laughed when he told her he was working. Chie wouldn't give up. She continued to speak.
私、ひなみ沢文庫教諭の千恵と申します。
I'm
北条さと子さんはいらっしゃいますか？
the teacher at Hinamazawa Branch School. My name is Chie. Is Satoko Hojo-san there?
なあ。
Huh?
なんじゃい踊れ。なんで踊りにさとこ合わせにならんねん。
What the hell? What do you want with Satoko?
今日、北条さんが学校をお休みしましたけれど、連絡がなかったもので、何かあったのかと思いお伺いさせていただきました。
I came here because she didn't come to school today. I wasn't able to get a hold of her, so I'm wondering what happened.
ああ。
Huh?
学校？
School?
はい。さとこちゃんはいますか？
Yes. Is she home?
ちょっとお話ししたいことがあるのですが。
I need to talk with her.
ああ、風邪なんね。そうそう。
She's sick. That's right. She has a cold.
さとこは風邪で熱出してるんですわ。
Satoko is resting because she has a fever.
プリントとかをお渡ししたいので、ちょっとだけお話しすることはできませんか？
I need to give her some handouts. May I please see her?
ドアホ
Fucking idiot.
踊れ話聞いてなかったんかい。
Weren't you listening to what I just said?
さとこは風邪じゃ。
Satoko is sick.
うなっとるね。
She's sleeping right now.
それを合わせられるかいボケ。
I can't let you see her.
そうですか。
I see.
明日は登校できそうですか？
Do you think she can come to school tomorrow?
知るかいな。
Who knows?
そんなもん明日になってみなきゃわからんわ。
I won't know until then.
このクソボケ。
You idiot.
そうですか。
I see.
わかりました。
Alright.
では、さとこちゃんによろしくお伝えください。
Please tell her that I came by.
失礼します。
Thank you. Chie bowed, but by the time she lifted up her head, Teppei was no longer there. About exactly what I expected. I'm not even trying to be critical, because again, what actually was like short of what I said jokingly was saying like if she came there to murder these guys like Teppei Hojo here, short of that, what is she actually gonna be able to do? The answer is nothing. But so I on one hand, my critical self wants to be like, of course you didn't really aid, whatever. But on the other hand, if I'm gonna try to be nice for once to Chie and to all the Chie fans, all 4.5 of you probably out there, this is a teacher who knows it's a stressful situation and in theory doesn't actually have to help them, doesn't have to try to help her, is going out of her way. She's got, as the text said, like, her teacher's pride inside of her was like, a student of mine is in trouble. I'm going to try to assist as best I can. This clearly means something to my other students. She's trying her best with the resources she has. The unfortunate thing is her resources she does have are pretty limited. That's what it comes down to, right? She's doing everything she can with the best of the resources she has. The resources she has are basically nothing. Because she is a young lady teacher who has no actual authority over this rude uncle man flexing his guardianship over Satoko, right? So, yeah, like I said, if she really wanted to get things done, she would have brought a knife or a gun. Other than that, this was going to always be the outcome. Unfortunate. When Chie returned to the school, several students emerged from the classroom. Damn, they were waiting for her to come back just so that that she could tell them that she was unsuccessful. That's a big bummer. Could you imagine? Our hope and our dreams lie in the hands of Chie actually doing something against the gruff, ill-mannered Teppei Hojo. Gee, I wonder what's gonna happen. She comes back empty-handed. It's like, well, fuck. They were Kechi, Rina, Mion, and Shion. Rika was also still inside the classroom, but she wouldn't come outside.
先生、どうでしたか？
Chie-sensei, how did it go?
サトコのとこに行ってきたんですよね。
You went to Satoko's house, right?
皆さん、それが聞きたくて待っていたんですか？
You're all waiting for me?
チエ先生、サトコはどうでしたか？無事でしたか？
Chie-sensei, how's Satoko doing? Is she okay?
それが会わせてもらえませんでした。
Well, I didn't get to see her.
あんた何しに行ったんですか？
Shion's gonna blow a gasket. What the hell were you doing?
教師でしょ？
You're a teacher, right?
ガキの使いじゃないんです。会えませんでした。そうですかで帰ってきちゃ意味ないじゃないですか。
You came back just because he didn't let you see her?
やめなよ、シオン。
Stop it, Shion.
そんなこともあるだろうって予想できたことだよ。
That's about what we expected.
どうせサトコの顔に青技があるに決まってます。
I'm sure Satoko has a bruise on her face by now.
だから会わせられないんです。
That's why I didn't want you to see her.
そこは無理やり押しのけても家の中に踏み入るくらいしなきゃダメなんです。
You should have just run into the house. Ran into the
もう
house.
先生なんて信用できないって言いました。
I can't even trust you anymore.
本当にごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
やめなよ、しーちゃん。
Stop it, Shi-chan.
先生はできる範囲の最善を尽くしてくれたよ。
She did the best she could.
だが、これで本当にはっきりしたな。
Now we know for sure.
そのサトコのおじってやつが、サトコを家に閉じ込めているってのは、どうやら間違いないみてえだ。
Satoko's uncle definitely has her locked inside the house.
そんなの確かめる前から分かってます。
We knew that from the start.
リカちゃまがそうだって昼間からずっと言ってるじゃないですか。
Rika-chama's been telling you all day today.
それを確かめるだけに半日費やしたんですよ。
We wasted half a day just to find out if that's true.
それでどうするんですか？どうやってサトコを助けるつもりですか？
How the hell do you think you can help Satoko?
だから落ち着きなって。
Calm down.
それをみんなで考えようよ。
Let's make a plan.
シオンがサトコのことを大事だと思うように、私たちだって大事に思ってる。
We care about her just as much as you do.
決して見殺しになんかしない。私たちにできることを考えようよ。
We're not going to abandon her. Let's come up with a way to save Satoko.
そうですね。私はもう考えて提案しましたよ。
I already gave you my opinion, didn't I?
私がたった一人で今日中に決着できるものすごくお手軽な方法です。
It's the best solution we have. I can handle it all by myself.
死体を隠すとこだけお姉の力を借りますが。
I only need your help to hide his body.
だからしーちゃん、
Stop it, Chie-chan.
物騒な話をするのはやめて。
Stop saying such violent things.
しーちゃんは人殺しのことを簡単に考えすぎなの。
Murder is a serious crime.
人を殺せば解決できるなんて考え方はおよそ思いつく考えの中で最低の最低、本当の最低のことなの。
It's the worst thing that you can think about.
なら他に提案をしてみてくださいよ。
Then give me a different idea.
私の提案が最低の最低なら、私よりほんのちょっぴり上等な程度でいいですから、代案を聞かせてください。
If my idea is wrong, then give me a different one, even if it's only a little bit better.
ほら、
Come on.
ほら、
Come on.
何も言えないじゃないですか。
See? Can't even say anything.
私なら1500秒で聡子を救える。
I can save Satoko in 1500 seconds.
お姉の力なんか借りられなくてもいい。死体なんか私が引きずって鬼ヶ淵の沼にでも放り込んでやる。
I'll just drag his body to the Onifuchi swamp and dump him in there. I don't even need your help, sis.
ほら、提案してくださいよ。これより早くてすぐに聡子を救える方法を。
What's wrong? Why don't you come up with another idea for saving her?
だからそうじゃないの。
That's not the point.
一人で悩んだらそんなことしか考えられないの。
If you try to figure it out by yourself, that's all you think of.
ならはっきり言ってあげるよ。
Let me tell you something.
1500秒
1500 seconds?
かかりすぎでしょ、そんなの。
That's taking way too long.
私なら1000秒かけないよ。
I would save her within 1000 seconds.
しーちゃんなんかみたいにぐちぐち言わずに黙って教室を出て行ってもう実行してるよ。
If I were you, I'd just leave her silently and do what I want to do.
なんでそうしないと思う？
Do you know why I'm not doing that?
昔誰かに教えられたことがあるの。
It's because someone told me once.
たとえそれしか方法がなかったとしても殺人に訴えるのはいけないこと。
That even if it's the only option you have, murder's still something that you should never do.
正しいことじゃない。最善手なんかじゃないの。
It's not the right thing to do, and it's never the best thing to do either.
それしかないと思ってしまうことが一人で悩むことの限界なの。
You just think it's the best solution because you're not thinking properly. A long time ago, I don't know who told me this, but someone taught it to me. If there's something that troubles you, you can't think about it all on your own. Can't think that your own solution is the best way to conclude things.
みんなで考える。みんなで悩む。
We should all think about it together.
確かに今この瞬間はしーちゃんの短絡的な提案に対する提案をできないけど、私たちがみんなで考えれば絶対にそれよりいい解決策が見つけられるよ。
If we all brainstorm, I'm sure we'll come up with a better solution.
いいとか悪いとかの問題じゃないです。
It's not about whether my idea is right or wrong or right.
1分1秒でも無駄な時間を費やせば聡子がどんな乱暴されるか考えればいいじゃないですか。
Just think about it. Every minute we waste puts Satoko in more danger.
北条って姓がそんなに憎らしい。
Do you hate the Hojo family that much?
サトシ君や聡子がどんなに辛くても誰も手を差し伸べないの。
No one is supposed to help Satoshi-kun and Satoko, no matter how much they're struggling.
私が助ける。ご託なんてもうたくさん。
I'm going to help her.
そこをどいてよ。
Get out of my way.
そこまで言うなら今から行ってくる。
I'm leaving right now.
あいつをサクッと殺して聡子を助け出してくる。
I'm going to stab that loser and save Satoko.
ダメだよしーちゃん。しーちゃん。
No, Shi-chan. Shi-chan!
お前たちは呪ってろ。
You guys should curse yourselves.
自分たちの無力さをいつまでも。
Curse your powerlessness.
そしてより集まって思いつきもしない妙案を議論し合えばいい。
Fine, brainstorm for another idea. Never come up with one.
そうして聡子のために何かしているという免罪符を得ながら聡子を看板に見殺しにしていけばいい。
Just go ahead and neglect her.
あんたたちは誰も聡子のことを大事に思ってないんだ。
You've never really cared about Satoko.
聡子のことなんか遊び友達だとしか思ってないんだ。
You only think of her as someone you can play with.
私は違う。
But I'm different.
聡子は友達以上。
She's more than just a friend for me.
家族だとすら思ってる。
She's like my family.
あんたたちとは聡子を大事に思う心が違うの。
I care about her more than you guys do.
じゃあね、殺してくるね。
I'm going to kill him now.
さようなら。
Goodbye.
待ちな。
Wait a minute.
何を邪魔する気ですか？
What is it? Are you trying to stop me?
シオン、
Shion.
お前レナの言ったことが
半分も理解できてねえだろ。
You're not understanding even half of what Rina is trying to tell you.
半分どころかお釣りが来るくらいに理解してますよ。
What? I totally understand what she's saying.
殺しをするほんのちょっとの度胸があればすぐに救えるのに、それを綺麗事でごまかす偽善の話ですよね。
We can save her right away with just the little courage needed to murder him, but she's spouting hypocritical garbage to hide that fact.
シオン、
Shion,
お前が人殺しをしてまでサトコを救ったとして、サトコは感謝すると思ってるのか？
do you think Satoko would appreciate it if you saved her by committing murder?
感謝が欲しいわけじゃないです。
I'm not trying to seek her appreciation.
別に私は差し違えてもいい。
I don't care what happens to me.
それでサトコが幸せになれるなら本望なんですから。
Her happiness is all that matters.
違うな。
That's not right.
口先の威勢はなかなかいいが、お前には差し違える度胸なんかありゃしねえな。
You're talking tough, but I know you're scared.
その証拠に、お前はさっきミオンに死体を隠すのを頼みたいようなことを言ったじゃねえか。
In fact, you asked Mion to help you hide the body.
それはつまり、差し違えたくない。おじをぶっ殺した後、元の平穏な生活に戻りたいって願望の表れじゃねえか。
In other words, you want to have a normal life after killing her uncle.
お前が本当に望んでいる世界は、ついこの間までの世界。
You want us all to be happy, just like a few days ago.
俺たちみんなが仲良く楽しく過ごしていたあの世界への回帰なんだ。
You want us to be back where we were.
だがな、お前が殺人を犯せば絶対にその世界へは戻れない。
But if you murder him, we'll never be like that again.
そうそう簡単に完全犯罪なんかができると思うなよ。お前は絶対に逮捕される。
Do you think you can really commit a perfect crime? You'll be arrested for sure.
それくらい覚悟の上です。
I'm prepared to face that.
サトコの苦しみを私が懲役で変われるなら本望です。
If I could end Satoko's suffering by doing time behind bars, I'd gladly pay that price.
違うな違うな。絶対にそれは違うな。
No, that's absolutely not true.
お前は自分を呪うぜ。かけてもいい。
You would curse yourself, and I'd bet on that.
どうして自分が殺人なんて貧乏くじを引かなくちゃならなかったのか、未練がましく自分を呪うんだ。
You would curse yourself and regret it, wondering how you drew the short straw and became a murderer.
そしてその時になってようやくシオンが本当に求めていたことに気がつくんだよ。
Then, you'd finally realize what you really wanted.
それはおじを殺すことじゃない。みんなと元の世界に戻ることだ。
It wasn't killing her uncle. It was returning us all to our happy lives.
そしてそれは殺人を犯すことで台無しになってしまうんだよ。
Your wish will never come true if you commit murder.
そしてお前が自分を呪うように、サトコも自分を呪うだろうな。
Maybe murder isn't always the answer. Satoko will also curse herself.
自分が原因でシオンが殺人を犯す羽目になったとずっと後悔すると思う。
She'll blame herself, thinking she's the reason Shion became a murderer.
第一、お前がいなくなったら誰がサトコにカボチャを食わせるんだよ。
In fact, who's going to force Satoko to eat her squash if you get locked up? Such a good point.
誰がサトコと陰険なトラップの相談をするんだよ。
Who's going to talk about setting up mean traps to Satoko?
お前だろ。
You're supposed to do those things.
園崎シオンだろ。
Shion Sonozaki.
お前が本当に目指す世界にはお前がサトコの脇にいなければダメなんだよ。
You have to be by her side at all times.
そこを間違えるな。
Don't kid yourself.
サトコのためだと錯覚して自ら取り返しのつかない間違いを犯すんじゃない。
What you're trying to do is not for Satoko. It's just a huge mistake.
そこまで言うならケイちゃんはサトコを救う方法を何か提案できるんですか？
I don't know. Something about Shion just really fucking being, like, committed to just not even caring that Chie is in the vicinity of hearing her say it. Just blind rage. I'm going to murder Tepe Hojo to save Satoko. Big respect to Shion. Shion's just badass like that. If that's what you're saying, do you have any idea for how to save her?
できないでしょ。
You don't, do you?
口先だけの綺麗事で私の邪魔立てをするな。
You're such a hypocrite.
だからそこをどいて。
I said move!
殺す。
I'm killing him.
私が今から殺しに行く。
I'm going to kill him now. She blocked her way by standing in front of the door. Shion gave him a hateful glare, but he just sent her back a confident smile.
シオンを生かせるわけにはいかねえな。
I can't let you go, Shion.
俺たちの望む世界はシオンが欠けたら成立しない。
The world we all long for doesn't exist without you.
だから俺はお前を生かさないぞ。
I'm not going to let you go.
ほう。
Is that
そうですか。
Is that so?
ならケイちゃんは北条哲平をかばってるってわけですね。
That means you're siding with Teppei Hojo?
なら同罪だ。お前から先に頭を叩き割ってやる。
You're just as guilty as he is. I'm going to burst your head open and kill you first. Bust, not burst.
ちょっと。
Oh shit. She grabbed a chair. Can't you watch out? Hey.
バカ、シオン。
Don't be stupid, Shion.
やめなよ。
Quit it already.
シオンさん。
Chie, please get control of the kids in your class. Do something. You have one of your students is threatening to not only kill Teppei Hojo, but is threatening to kill Kechi for saying that murdering is not the best solution. Oh my god. Chie, this is exactly the type of like year you have, or like stretch of like teaching kids, being a teacher, having the occupation of a teacher, that I'd imagine is the type of stretch that after you do it, you're like, when the school year is over, I'm done. I am done with this. I am finding a new career path to take. I am not going to be a part of this anymore. This is exactly the type of stretch that forces teachers to want to retire. Just a string of just unfortunate incidents. So yeah, Chie says, Shion-san,
その椅子をどうするつもりですか?
what are you going to do with that chair? What do you mean, what is she going to do with the chair? You heard her what she said. She said she's going to bust Kechi's head open for standing in her way. It really is way too easy for me to hate on Chie. It's too easy.
やめなさい。
She says, stop it.
椅子を床に置きなさい。
Put that chair down.
ケイちゃんがこの後に及んでまだ私が本気だって分かってないならマジで血見ます。
He doesn't understand that I'm serious. I have to show him how determined I am.
謝んなくていいですからとっととどきやがれってんです。
You better get the hell out of my way now.
シオン、確かに今この瞬間、俺はよりいい提案をできない。
Shion, I admit that right now, I have no better idea.
でも、それは今思いついてないだけのことだ。
But that's just for the moment.
俺たちはきっとサトコを助けるもっとマシな方法を考え出す。
I'm sure that we will come up with a better idea eventually.
絶対にだ。
I guarantee it.
絶対に俺たちがサトコを救う。
I promise you that we're going to save Satoko.
だからな。
So please, okay?
信じろ、仲間を。
Trust your friends.
仲間であるサトコのために手を汚さない連中にサトコを仲間呼ばわりされたくないです。
If you're afraid of committing murder for Satoko's sake, you're not my friend anymore.
もう一度は言わない。
I'm not going to tell you this again.
そこをどきやがれ。
Get the hell out of my way.
シオンこそ頭を冷やして考え直せ。
Calm down and think about what you're saying.
俺たちはきっとサトコを救える。
We will save Satoko somehow.
それを信じろ。
Just trust us.
だから短絡的な考えに走るんじゃない。
Don't try and look for a shortcut.
仲間を信じろ。
Trust your friends.
仲間呼ばわりされたくないってんなら
Trust
俺を信じろ。
Trust me.
前原圭一が必ずサトコを救う。
I, Kechi Maibara, am going to save Satoko for sure.
だからそいつにかけてみろ。
You can bet on it.
黙れ無力。
Shut up!
お前なんか信じられるか。
I can't trust you.
お前にどうやってサトコが救えるというのか。
What do you think you can do for her?
シオン。
Shion? Oh. Shion threw the chair at Kechi. Oh my god. It hit him hard, and the chair fell to the floor with a loud noise. Akechi was unfazed, even after being struck. He just stood in front of the exit without even covering his face. That reminds me, God, and I think I talked about this on stream, or I mentioned this, like, on stream recently, but I can't tell if it was for fucking this game or some other game. It was sometime this year I talked about it, though. I mentioned it. And I'm reminded of it because it's a classroom, it's a teacher, and it's fucking a chair. But one time, I wasn't in the classroom, but one day in, was it middle school? Yeah, it must have been middle school. There was a teacher I didn't have the teacher. I wasn't in the class either or anything. But word started going around like, did you hear that one thing that happened? Apparently, some kid was so enough obnoxious to a certain teacher, this guy teacher, that the teacher got so fed up that he just grabbed an empty chair at like the front of the classroom and then threw it at a kid. Just sitting in the classroom. Like, I've had in my life during school, public school, the public school system, you're always bound to have like some bad teachers and teachers that probably shouldn't be teachers. You have teachers that are way worse than Chie and also don't have that teacher determination like Chie has, right? But I've had some teachers that have done some truly awful shit or have said awful things, but like, man, getting like that physical to the point where you're grabbing a chair and throwing it across the room at another student, it's wild, dude. And then that teacher was just immediately gone. I think he did it and then left, and then the school had to be like, he's not coming back. Oh my god. Disaster, dude. But yeah, I'm just reminded because now we're just seeing fucking chairs getting thrown in this story now. Meanwhile, Rika is just depressed as shit. Like, we haven't heard from Rika in like a hot minute, and she's probably just sitting in the chair thinking about what she's gonna drink tonight. She's bummed as hell. Like, is she still conceited, or not conceited, if she still is like, it's over, if she hasn't slumped out of that, is she potentially hearing this happening in the background and she's just like, what the fuck is going on? She's like all mad and pissed. It's just, oh my god. Alright, he just stood in front of the exit without even covering his face. Ooh. Wait, he wasn't unfazed. A trail of blood was pouring from his forehead where the corner of the chair hurt him. Look at that smile. He doesn't give a shit. He says, that was nothing. You thought I'd move out of the way? I'm not going to move from here, even if you kill me. If I let you go, we might never see you again. Satoko think about you every day, and her heart will be filled with sadness. If that happens, there won't be anything we can do to make her happy. It's going to be a very sad life for her. I don't want Satoko to live in a sad world like that. The future that we want is a wild and righteous one. A riotous one. Just like that we had a few days ago. Just like what we had until a few days ago. Of course, I won't let Satoko's uncle threaten her any longer. I haven't decided how I'm going to do it yet. But I will know soon. I promise. So please, just trust me. Shion wasn't yet convinced, but even so, she walked to the window and took her seat. Somebody rested a hand on Kechi's shoulder. It was the principal. He had been standing there and listening to him for a while.
校長先生。
Principal.
よく耐えた。
Well done.
知恵先生、一部始終は聞かせてもらいましたぞ。
Chie sensei, I've heard what's going on. First off, you're fired. What the hell is going on in here? Second.
私が至らぬばかりに申し訳ありません。
I'm sorry for being so powerless.
昨日の今日の出来事ではあるが、わしももはや猶予のならない事態だと思っておる。
I know it's only been a day, but I think this is an emergency.
しかるべきところへすぐに連絡するべきであろう。
We should report this to the proper authorities.
でも校長先生、児童相談所には過去にも相談したことがあって。
But sir, she's called the Child Consultation Center before.
どうせ助けてなんかくれませんよ。
They're not going to help her anyway.
他力本願もいいとこです。
It's just a waste of time. Shion raised her voice. Principal looked at Shion and started talking.
園崎紫音君。
Shion Sonozaki-kun.
私は言葉の中で最も憎むべきものがあるのを知っている。
There's one word that I really don't like.
それが何かわかるかね？
Do you know what that is?
今君が言ったどうせという言葉だ。
It's what you just said. The anyway that came out of your mouth.
どうせという言葉は戦いもせず負けを認める最も醜い言葉だ。
That is the cruelest word, which means admitting defeat before you even fight.
その言葉を口にしたときすでに戦いには負けておるのである。
By the time you've uttered that word, you've already lost your battle.
私も校長先生の意見に賛成。
I agree with him.
どんな策があるにせよ、頼るべき順序があると思うの。
I think we should try various options.
児童相談所に相談するのは多分一番最初にするべきことなんだと思う。
Calling the Child Consultation Center should be the first on the list.
それでダメなら2番目の手、3番目の手を考えればいい。
If that doesn't work, we can try our second and third options.
試しもしないうちから諦めるのは私は見殺しにするのと何も変わらないと思うから。
Don't give up before you try. That's just as bad as not helping her at all.
校長、もちろん通報するからには
Principal, if you're reporting this, then
絶対里子を助けてもらえるように言い含めてくれるんですよね。
you'll make sure to convince them that Satoko needs saving, right?
無論だ。
Of course.
北条君はわしの可愛い教え子である。
Hoshikun is my precious student.
きっと助けてもらえるようわしにできる最善を尽くす。
I'll do my best so that they will save her.
児童相談所は迅速ですから、今から通報すればきっと今夜にはもう動いてくれるでしょう。
They'll try to take action as quickly as possible, so if you call now, they should get to our house later tonight.
それで里子が救われればいいんだけど。
I hope they will help her.
もしもまた様子見なんてことになったら。
But if they put her case on hold?
それがダメだったら次の手を考えようよ。
If that happens, we should come up with our next plan.
私たちが諦めない限り絶対に里子ちゃんを救えるんだから。
As long as we don't give up, we can help her somehow.
いつまでも綺麗事を言っててください。
Whatever you guys say.
そうしてのんびりしてるうちに里子は癒しようのない心の傷を負うんです。
Satoko is getting hurt as we speak.
見殺しにしてるのはどっちなんですよ。
Who's the one abandoning her here?
シオン、
Shion,
俺はさっき約束したからな。
I just promised you.
俺たちは絶対に里子を救う。
We are going to save Satoko.
それもお前みたいに差し違えてでもなんて話じゃない。
Not by committing murder.
里子が本当に幸せになれるような最高の形で救い出してみせる。
But by saving her in a way that will make her happy.
見てろ、絶対だからな。
You just watch us.
前原圭一が絶対と言ったらそれは絶対なんだ。
I, Kechi Maibara, am promising you this. Shion stared out the window without looking at Kechi's face.
園崎家の方で児童相談所がどういう判断を下すか確認するよ。
I'll try and find out what the consultation center decides tonight.
分かったらみんなに電話するよ。
I'll call everyone when I do.
それで無事保護されることに決まれば最高だからな。
I hope they'll take her into custody.
もちろん楽観はできないね。
We can't be optimistic about this.
様子見になる可能性が一番高いね。
I think there's a huge chance that they'll put her case on hold.
そうなったらどうする？
What are we gonna do if that happens?
その時はくそ。
If that happens, well, damn it.
知恵先生、
Chie sensei,
職員室に行きましょうぞ。
let's go to the teacher's office.
早速電話をしましょう。
We need to make this call. Yes,
よく説明しないといけません。
we need to make sure they really understand. Now, the point I would fear now is if Tepe Hojo was smart, he would understand that potentially he's already, like, he would be already tipped off that there are some people that are suspicious of the situation now because Chie already came and said that I'm the teacher, she wasn't at school. So, that's a little unfortunate. They left the classroom. Kechi, Rina, and Mion got together and discussed their other options. Shion was looking down and crying. Rika was just vaguely looking at them as if staring at a boring TV drama. Nothing will change. The Child Consultation Center will put her case on hold. I've seen it so many times in previous lives. I almost hope they will take her into custody just this once. But I have no more coins left to gamble on a hope like that. In a previous life, Keshi killed Satoko's uncle, but Shion was not there when that happened. When she is, I suppose she's the one who takes on that role. The pathetic hopes will be crushed by tomorrow morning. The social worker will be at her house tonight, but Satoko will deny that she's being abused. Her uncle will assume that she was the one who called the service, and he'll abuse her even more. She'll come to school tomorrow because he doesn't want the Child Consultation Center to be suspicious of him. We'll feel more and more hopeless when we see the dead look in Satoko's eyes. I've been living for more than 100 years, but I've never defeated this fate. The fate of her uncle's return. I was blessed with so much luck, and I thought I could defeat it this time. But in the end, it all came down to the same thing. It was a waste of energy to put in any effort. It was worthless. All worthless. The more I thought about this inescapable fate, the more I pitied these people for talking endlessly about how they were going to save Satoko. Is that how it ends? Just us being upset. That was a bummer of a section to read tonight. Jesus. Fuck. Wet blanket. Tepe returned to Hinamazawa to escape some trouble. He'd have to stay there for the rest of the summer, perhaps a whole year, and see what happened. For him, the house in Hinamazawa was like a rather dull hiding place. His lover, Rina, had suddenly disappeared. Rumors told him that she was involved with some dangerous deal. Some source even told him that she had already been caught and killed. Everyone he knew was aware that Rina was living with him. Everyone also assumed that he knew everything about what Rina did. They were convinced that he got money by tricking her into doing something. And as a result, some dangerous men came after him. That made it difficult for him to stay in Okinomiya. More than anything, it pissed him off to find out that Rina was cooking up something behind his back with some other guys. Hinamazawa was about the only place he could go. He couldn't go back to the house where he used to live with his wife, as it had been abandoned since he moved into Satoko's house. Besides, he didn't even have the key to his old place. But if he went to Satoko's house, she should still be there, and she could clean and cook for him too. Tepe didn't know how to cook or clean, and he certainly wasn't thinking of learning. Rina had often been rebellious towards Tepe. He had often said that he wanted to be with someone more loyal, like a pet. For Tepe, Satoko was exactly what he wanted. Sorry. I had like an involuntary reaction to that reading those sentences there. As Satoko is still a little kid, she can't It's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. I should have saved the reaction. It's only getting worse. Deep breaths. In. Out. As Satoko is still a little kid, she can't satisfy him sexually, but he can at least make her wash his back in the bath. Oh, I didn't even... What Satoko's dead mother used to be a pretty woman. Satoko might grow up to become... Oh, no. Satoko might grow up to become a pretty lady herself in about 4 or 5 years? Wait. 4 or 5 years? I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time with this little tip here. Why? So we read just the ultimate bummer of a chapter, of a section. And then this game was like, you know how you want to conclude tonight? Let me give you a very upsetting to read tip. There you go. Yeah, they just serve it. It's like a after you had a bad meal, and then they're like, here for dessert, more bad. Hope you enjoy. Oh, God. Get it off my screen. Tepe headed back to Hinamizawa with those indecent thoughts in his head. You know what? Shion should just go murder this guy. Fuck it. The house was locked, so he assumed that she was at the market for grocery shopping. He found her at the store and dragged her back home. However, the house was full of dust. She'd been living at a friend's house for the past year, and the house had been abandoned. Tepe exploded in anger. He told her that it was her responsibility to keep the house in order. He beat her, kicked her down to the floor. Eventually, Satoko's expression returned to what he remembered from 1982. Satoko started obeying him immediately and cleaned up the house. A new place to hide with a new girl. His new life was starting out pretty good. Tepe called his buddies to show off his new beginning and ended up playing mahjong with them. He bragged about his new pet and made her serve them food and drinks. He told her to walk on all fours like a real pet. She refused, but she had obeyed immediately when he tried to hit her. Everyone was laughing and they were all jealous of him. Tepe felt really good about himself. However, someone arrived to interrupt this perfect life.
私、ひなみ沢文庫教諭の千恵と申します。北条聡子さんはいらっしゃいますか?
I'm a teacher from the Hinamizawa branch school. My name is Chie. Is Satoko Hojo-san here? He thought someone was at his door to sell insurance or something, but it was a school teacher. Huh? What the hell? What do you want with Satoko?
今日、北条さんが学校をお休みしましたけれど、連絡がなかったもので、何かあったのかと思いお伺いさせていただきました。
I came here because she didn't come to school today. I wasn't able to get a hold of her, so I'm wondering what happened. Huh? School?
はい、聡子ちゃんはいますか?
Yes. Is she home?
ちょっとお話ししたいことがあるのですが。
I need to talk with her.
風邪なんね。そうそう。聡子は風邪で熱出しとるんですわ。
She's sick. That's right. She has a cold. Satoko's resting because she has a fever.
プリントとかをお渡ししたいので、ちょっとだけお話しすることはできませんか？
I need to give her some handouts. May I please see her?
ドアホ
You
お
idiot.
話聞いてなかったんかい
You idiot. Weren't you listening to what I just said?
サトコは風邪じゃ
Satoko's sick. Why is it making me reread this?
うねっとるね
We just read this. She's sleeping right now.
それ合わせられるかいバカ
I can't let you see her. This is going to cause some problems, Tepe realized. Satoko was just a pet for him, and he had no intention of sending her to school. But her teacher had shown up at his house just because she missed one day. This wasn't good. Tepe hates schools, and he really hates teachers.
そうですか。明日は登校できそうですか？
I see. Do you think she can come to school tomorrow?
知るかいなそんなもん明日になって見なきゃわからんわ
Who knows? I won't know until tomorrow.
このクソボケ
You idiot.
そうですか。わかりました。
I see. Alright.
では、さとこちゃんによろしくお伝えください。
Please tell her that I came by.
失礼します。
Thank you. He was able to get rid of the teacher, but it would create more problems if he didn't send Satoko to school tomorrow. Tepe didn't need even more trouble on his place. Wait, on his place? Was I supposed to say on his plate? I've never heard of the phrase trouble on his place. That meant he couldn't beat up Satoko like he wanted to. Violence was the only way he knew how to communicate. With that out of the picture, it was very difficult for him. He wanted to beat up Satoko, but that would leave evidence on her body. If that happened, he wouldn't be able to send her to school. And if she didn't go to school, the teacher would show up at his doorstep again. Shit. On top of all that, the Child Consultation Center paid a visit to his house that night. The teacher must have filed a report. That bitch, Tepe thought. Next time I'll beat her in the face so hard she'll need plastic surgery. Since Satoko was afraid of him, she pretended she really was sick when the social worker visited. It was so easy for Tepe to control her. He considered Satoko to be a convenient pet, but at the same time, he needed to be careful of the consultation center.
ああガンマンおもろないばっかね
Fucking hell. This ain't gonna work at all. Well, all around, a sad stretch to be reading. Now I get to go through the rest of the week with this energy. Ugh. Everyone's sad. Everyone's bummed. Nothing good happening. Oh boy. Okay. Well, I mean, it's so unfortunate. It's such an abrupt wall to hit. We were riding high on so much energy. Rika was feeling fucking good. She was like, "Damn, everything's turning up, Rika. We're fine. Things are gonna be different this time." And then all came crashing down immediately tonight. And it's very funny because I was theorizing. I was like, at the end of the chapter, it's all. See, I thought something along these lines was going to happen at like the end of the chapter. That's what I was talking about at the start. I was like, I could see we're setting up. And then no, it just fast forwarded. It just happened immediately tonight. So that's upsetting for sure. We'll obviously call it a night there. Thanks so much for watching. Tomorrow we'll do the second stream of Chants of Sonar. We played an hour of that earlier this week. Definitely want to check that out for tomorrow night. Higurashi back Saturday night as well. We'll be back to reading. Hopefully I can read 2 chapters and not just 1 like I did last weekend. But we'll see. No promises. Ever. I'll never promise you anything. That sounded so dramatic. I didn't mean it to be. So often I'll try to say something goofy and then it just comes out like weird and awkward and dramatic. unintentionally. Don't mean that to be the case. But yeah, like I said, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out through the good Higurashi moments and then the bad ones when you have to read about gross tepe thoughts, tepe hojo thoughts and deeds. Yeah, I don't know what I mean. Is this chapter now fated to be like the type of chapter, you know, that meme that's like, we're so back, it's so over, it's so back, we're so back, it's so over, you know, and it's like the line graph where it just keeps going up and down and up and down. Is that what we're fated for this chapter? Are we just at a valley, perhaps, and maybe we'll pick back up? Maybe something good will happen. What if it's like an actual miracle happens? You know how like, is it Hanyu? It's like, oh, you have to wait for a real miracle to happen. It's gonna be it's like Hojo, Tepe Hojo, just fucking croaks. He has a heart attack. Something like that. That would be the miracle we need. Odds are slim, but that's what I'm hoping for. A heart attack. All right. So until tomorrow's stream, or if you're Higurashi exclusive watcher, until Saturday night, thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great Wednesday tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, take it easy.